You know the drill, right? You go to the doctor, you get a prescription, and you pick up that little bottle of pills that's supposed to make you feel better. It's something we all do. But what happens when one of those helpful medications ends up clashing with another one? Well, today, we're going to solve a metabolic mystery, and it's all about the hidden and sometimes really dangerous side of mixing meds.
Let's just kick things off with one single, pretty staggering number, 84%. That's how many prescriptions have more than one medication in them. Now, this practice, it's called polypharmacy, and a lot of the time, it's absolutely necessary. But it also opens the door to a hidden risk, something called drug-drug interactions.
So what in the world is a drug-drug interaction, or a DDI for short? To put it simply, it's when one drug messes with how another drug works inside your body. Sometimes that means the second drug just stops working as well, but other times it can make it dangerously powerful. This is the key idea for the whole mystery we're about to unravel. All right, every good mystery needs its main characters, right? In our story, they're not people. They're actually two very common and usually very helpful medications.
So, in one corner, we have ciprofloxacin. You might have heard of it. It's a really strong antibiotic that doctors use to fight off things like UTIs or pneumonia. And in the other corner, we have theophylline. This is a bronchodilator, which is a fancy way of saying it helps people with asthma or COPD breathe a whole lot easier. You see, on their own, they're the good guys. But when they're together, well, that's when things get complicated.
To really understand what happens next, we need to go to the scene of the crime. And for that, we're diving deep inside the body's incredible processing system. Specifically, we're heading to the liver.
And inside the liver, we meet our next crucial character, the CYP1A2 enzyme. Now, try to picture your liver as this huge, busy factory. The CYP1A2 enzyme is like a super specialized worker on the assembly line. Its one big job is to grab certain drugs, break them down, and clear them out of your system so they don't build up to dangerous levels.
And this is where it all connects. Theophylline safety completely depends on that little factory worker, that CYP1A2 enzyme, doing its job, processing it and getting it out of the bloodstream. As long as this system is working like it should, the drug's concentration stays in a perfectly safe and effective range.
So far, so good, right? The assembly line is running perfectly. But, of course, every good mystery needs a plot twist. So what happens when our other character, ciprofloxacin, shows up on the scene?
You can picture it unfolding in 3 steps. First, you got theophylline, just getting processed normally by our little enzyme worker, CYP1A2. But then, ciprofloxacin arrives, and it does something really disruptive. It inhibits the enzyme. It basically walks over and tells that worker to stop working, shutting down that part of the assembly line. And now, theophylline has nowhere to go. Its exit is blocked. It can't get cleared out, and its levels just start to climb, creating this dangerous metabolic traffic jam.
So how bad is this traffic jam really? I mean, look at this. Under normal conditions, theophylline levels are right where they should be, nice and stable. But you add ciprofloxacin to the mix, and whoa, those levels can absolutely skyrocket. We're talking an increase of anywhere from 17% to a truly shocking 113%.
A traffic jam inside your body? It sounds bad, for sure. But what are the real-world consequences? This is the part of our story where the mystery turns from just a cool metabolic thing into a potentially life-threatening situation. The really crucial thing to understand here is that theophylline has what's called a very narrow therapeutic window. Think of it like walking a tightrope. The sweet spot is between 10 and 20 milligrams per liter. But the moment you cross that 20 milligrams per liter line, you fall off the rope and land right in the danger zone. And that's where the risk for severe problems just goes through the roof.
And the reactions to this kind of toxicity, they're terrifying. We are not talking about a mild headache here. The potential consequences include severe nausea and vomiting, life-threatening seizures, cardiac arrest, and even complete respiratory failure. This is as serious as it gets.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. A warning from SingleCare puts it in really stark terms. There have been reports of serious and fatal reactions in people who have taken theophylline with ciprofloxacin. The stakes truly could not be any higher.
Okay, I know that all sounds incredibly scary. But here's the good news. This metabolic mystery, it has a solution. This is a known issue, and it is completely preventable. So how do we make sure it doesn't happen?
The most important thing for you to take away is this little safety checklist. It's how you become your own best health advocate. The absolute key is to tell your doctor or pharmacist about everything you take. And I mean everything. Prescriptions, over-the-counter stuff like pain relievers, even vitamins and supplements. And please never, ever start a new medication without talking to them first.
And on their end, doctors have a clear playbook for this. When they know a patient is taking theophylline, they can avoid this whole mess entirely. They can either monitor the drug levels super closely to make sure they stay in that safe zone, or, even better, they can just pick a different antibiotic, one that doesn't mess with that all-important CYP1A2 enzyme. So, our metabolic mystery is solved. The solution isn't some new miracle drug, it's just good old-fashioned communication and awareness. And that leaves us with one last, really crucial question to think about. Do you really know all the medications you're taking? And why you're taking them?